Funk, funk, and more funk. What is the difference between funk and funk? Yeah, let's jump into it. So I typed into good old Mr. Google here the different types of funk. As we can see, subgenres of funk: wave funk, house funk, lo-fi funk, Memphis funk, drift funk, dirty funk, hyper funk, ambient funk, trap funk, jungle funk. I'm pretty sure you can just put funk behind any other genre and now it becomes some type of subgenre of funk or that other genre.
I'm using the word genre and funk a whole lot.
First thing to talk about is that funk is not funk. Let's go over this. If you're over 35, you probably remember funk sounding something like this. You can literally never go wrong with some Earth, Wind & Fire. One of my favorite bands of that era. If you are part of that Gen Z, you will probably recognize funk to be something like this. The amount of energy that funk music gives off is next level, which is probably why it's blowing up so much. We're gonna go over a checklist of a few things I had to include when I was asked to make a drift funk type beat, and hopefully this will help you guys out next time you're looking to make some drift funk. After doing a lot of soul searching and a deep dive into funk on YouTube and the Googles, the interwebs, here's some of the things I found out about funk. First of all, the tempos vary. I've heard funk down from about 90 BPM and funk all the way up to like 150 BPM. So you need to be very clear on what's being asked of you. For the drift funk brief that I was being asked to create, we have to remember who the audience is. Drift funk is a genre catered to car clubs, catered to drift gaming. For those of you guys that like to play, I almost said GTA, Corsica, and Gran Turismo, and Super Mario Kart. This is what it's made for. It's made for the nightlife, it's made for car clubs, and it's made for gaming. Gaming and racing, keeping kind of racing in mind, which is the whole idea behind drift. One of the most popular drift funk songs is the track that you hear on, you know, that famous Fast and the Furious. Next thing, there's a very iconic sound that you hear in all of funk. It's the cowbell. They take a cowbell and it's pitched up and down. So we have to make sure we include some type of melody, a very simple melody with a cowbell. Thirdly, there's a lot of distortion used. Tons of distortion used. The sounds are almost all oversaturated with distortion. To my ear, it almost sounds bad. So this is something we really want to consider. How much distortion do we want to keep in? Where is that line drawn between sounding musical, sounding clean when it's mixing and mastered, and sounding like shit? We want to make sure that it is high energy. You also find drift funk a ton on TikTok and social media. So we want to make sure that it's either something people want to game to, people want to make social media content to, or people want to drive to. Lastly, when I was researching, I came across this little thing that in a lot of drift funk, there are vocals in there and they're barely recognizable. They're just mixed deep in there, not too deep, but they're mixed in so that they're not at the very forefront. The vocal is not the lead sounding instrument that we're looking for in this mix. So now that we have our categories, now that we have the requisites of what we want to add into the beat, let's go over the beat. Start out, I wanted to make sure I got the cowbell out of the way right at the beginning. I wanted to make sure I came up with a melody that was simple using that cowbell and catchy. Here's what we got. Next up, I wanted to make sure I added some tension, so I added the kick and clap, and we're building up at the same time. Then I wanted to make sure that we jumped right into the chorus early on. And really important is the bass line that kicks in, because the bass line is very synthy. Here's the bass line. I got 4 layers to the bass line, 1, 2, 3, 4. And here is what the bass sounds like. I have that bass slide side change so it moves out of the way big time, so when that kick hits, the kick is solid. I decided I only wanted a little bit of distortion when it came to the kick. I didn't want the kick to be overwhelming, overpowering. I'm making this brief for TV and film, possibly games. I don't want it to distort so hard that it sounds terrible coming out of those mediums. Just a personal choice. This is a double chorus. The second half of the chorus repeats the exact same thing, but now we have that clap and that snare, doom, pop, doing the back and forth. It's literally just a 2/4 type beat, which, by the way, a lot of funk is a 2/4 type rhythm. Boom, bap, the second half of the chorus. After going in hard there on the chorus, I decided I wanted something a little more soothing, something that you can cruise to without so much rhythm. So I did kind of a chord stack. Now, one of the key things here is I wanted this to be ever evolving. So I have this EQ8 that's sweeping. It's sweeping across, opening it up, letting those highs come out, letting those upper harmonics and saturation come out. On top of that, we also have a downer. So everything's calming down, bringing you in. And then right after that, it's reversed and it becomes a riser. Also have an arpeggio going on in the background. Sounds like this. So it starts out one tempo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 16th notes going, and then it turns into 30-second notes, even faster. Then we bring the chorus back in. We have some high synths going on there. We have some more layers, and it's even thicker. But at this point, I've finished the track. And I said to myself, hold on, I've gotten everything on the checklist. I've gotten the tempo. I made sure I got the cowbells, got the distorted sounds, got a synth bass in there. What I don't have are the vocals that you can barely understand. This had me thinking, like, what's the point of putting in vocals if you can barely understand them? However, let's put in a 4-bar phrase that just repeats over and over. Came up with this little 4-bar phrase here. It's one track, not layered. And I don't want it to sound like my voice, so a great plugin you can use just for format shifting, and I pretty much just use it for format shifting, is M-pitch. I ended up pitching my vocal up 1 semitone. Don't know why I did that. However, the whole point of this is, here's what my vocal sounds like dry.
I could keep you up all night, top down, lights off, ghost ride, 2 screws loose until the sunrise, you could be my rider.
Then I have M auto pitch, which all I really did was drop the format right here.
I could keep you up all night, top down, lights off, ghost ride, 2 screws loose until the sunrise, you could be my rider.
And then once we add all of the effects, it sounds something like this.
I could keep you up all night, top down, lights off, ghost ride, 2 screws loose until the sunrise, you could be my rider.
So we're about to listen to the whole thing. Thank you for sticking around. If you guys like this video, you want me to do more videos like this where we break down the genres and make it simple for you guys to be able to do it as well, then let me know in the comments below so I can make more like this. Don't forget to do all the things like and subscribe and follow and click all the clicky things. And this is how it came out.